The 7-hour massacre ends with the Dow finishing down an inconceivable 508 points, 5 times greater than the record set on the previous Friday.
To the end, market analysts are steadfastly refusing to even mention that word crash to describe what's going on right now. Instead, they like to look at it as a correction that still has to work itself out.
The market loses 22.6% of its value in one day, twice the percentage than any previous day in history, including the crash of 1929, the day that prompted the Great Depression.
Once the bell rang at 4 o'clock, they couldn't get out. The backlog was really basically people like yourself, individual investors, who said, gee, I put in an order at 3 o'clock to sell this stock. Did I sell my stock? I haven't gotten a report yet. I want to know how I stand.
I remember at the end of the day, I sat down in the pit, my legs were shaking, I'm sweating profusely, and I'm freaking out at, one, am I going to have a job the next day? Are these trades going to clear up? Is this going to cost me anything financially? Is this business over with? Is the world coming to an end?
I saw 2 grown men leave the pit crying, literally in tears. They knew they had lost everything at that point.
Big rumors about what's going on. The government's going broke. We're about to experience another depression. I mean, really, it was crazy. I've never seen the panic level like I saw it that day.
It's one of those days where, it's like somebody said, what days you remember? My mom said, Kennedy, when he was killed. I mean, you go through the list, and I know my list, and I was a little young when Kennedy was killed, so I don't remember that one. But this is one, for sure.
One of the things that really sticks in my head after the close on Monday was, a lot of the guys were holding their heads on the stairs, but one of the guys I knew, because he stood there for a while, he was actually crying. He lost everything.
When the bloodbath is over $500 billion of capital vanishes in a single day. There were some who managed to prosper amidst the financial wreckage. 33-year-old Paul Tudor Jones capitalized on the chaos of Black Monday to the tune of nearly $200 million. But for most, Wall Street was a disaster area.
It was like you were living in a house with a lot of security and a great big foundation, okay? And all of a sudden an earthquake hit, okay? And then everything just crumbled. And now you're out on the street with nowhere to live.
We had to keep our money at a clearing firm. They were in trouble. They wouldn't let you take any money out. And I mean, basically, not that it was a huge net worth. I was a pretty young guy at the time. But your entire net worth kind of was in that trading account.
I go to the bank just like everybody else because there's a line of about 15 of us there. And I wanted my money in cash. I didn't want a cashier's check or anything else like that because the banking system is done. You give me a cashier's check to a bank that's not solvent, what am I going to do with it? I wanted cash. I stayed there until 7:30 at night with about a half a dozen other guys. We never got our cash.
If I remember correctly, I left about 6 o'clock. I stopped at a famous Chicago hot dog stand, the Wiener Circle, on my way home because I lived near the Wiener Circle. Because I was like, I just had to get back to normalcy. So I stopped at the Wiener Circle, got like a burger or a dog, whatever it was, and nobody there cared. Like not one person was talking about the markets. So I realized, you know what? This must just be isolated to my little world. So I got my burger, whatever. That was my happy idea, and went home.
Across the Atlantic, future UK Prime Minister Tony Blair was doing his best to quell fears of a financial panic.
Well, I don't think panic's ever a very good idea, and certainly not at a time like this. I also think that it is true to say that the very particular collapse we've had over the last couple of days can't be a reflection of any real economic factors. But I think the real problem that we're left with, that anything that happens in Wall Street then reverberates right round the world.
When I